Hey guys, we're going to get right into making flour tortillas, homemade flour tortillas. We're going to need a little bit of all-purpose flour here. I have about 460 grams. I have some vegetable shortening, about 70 grams. And in this bowl I have 10 grams of kosher salt and 5 grams of baking powder. And we'll add those dry ingredients first and mix those throughout thoroughly. Here I'm going to put my 70 grams of vegetable shortening and cut the vegetable shortening throughout the flour, mixed in really well. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. It gets kind of boring. One of the tests I do after the shortening has been distributed thoroughly throughout the flour is I like to grab a fistful of flour and squeeze it really tight in my hand to see if it holds together. If it holds together and you can press down on it with a little bit of pressure and it falls apart, you basically have the right amount of shortening or fat throughout the flour. If it doesn't hold, you need to add more fat. If it doesn't break apart, you added too much fat. Here I'm going to add a cup of really hot water, not boiling, but pretty hot. This is going to be pretty wet in the beginning. Continue working it and working it and working it, and you'll see that slowly but surely the flour will begin to absorb all that liquid and start to become a nice dough. And I'll slow this down in a bit so you can see how sticky it is in the beginning. Here it's kind of like frustrating that all this dough won't come off of your hands, but just keep working it and working it and working it, and pretty soon the dough will start pulling away from the bowl and pick all that stuff up and also get that stuff off of your hands as well. Here it's starting to come together. As you can see, my hands have become clean and the bowl looks nice and clean too. And you have a nice looking dough there. It's pretty soft, it's warm. I don't know why I'm poking it. And just kind of fold it into itself and form a ball. And we're going to place it back in the bowl and throw a towel over it and let it rest for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. Here we're going to pull the dough out of the bowl, and you're going to feel quite a difference in the texture of the dough once you pull it out. It's going to be a lot more silky, a lot smoother than what it was in the beginning. It's come together quite well. And just kind of form a ball, pat it down, and here we can start to divide the dough into portions of your tortilla. They're called testales. Now, there's quite a few ways we can do this. We could get our bench scraper here and cut it down the middle, and then cut it again down the middle, and then portion it evenly how you see it. If you're old school, you can grab a pinch and just ball out the portions. If you do this a lot, then that would probably be the easiest way for you, but I don't do this all the time. Or you can weigh it out and you can use some math in your head and portion them out evenly. Here I did the math part. I weighed them out, and these are all about 90 grams each. For this recipe, it looks like I got about 9 90-gram portions of testales, or tortilla portions. So here I'm going to grab one and I'm going to fold it into itself, and I'm going to cup it right under my hand and kind of ball it. You're not really pressing, you're just kind of making it dance around under the palm of your hand. Here I'm going to pinch the seam on the underneath side and ball it a little bit, and I'll do all of these in that same method. Let's grab another one, fold it in, and roll it around a little bit lightly so it'll form a ball. Pinch my seam, and I have another one. I'm going to lightly flour the testales a little bit to put them on a plate and let them rest again. I'll flour my plate a little bit also, and that's just to prevent any sticking to the surface or sticking from each other. Just place them in this bowl and then cover it and let it rest again. I got this oddball out over here. So like I said, if you do this every day and you're about to roll them out, you can just grab one and start rolling them out. If you're my tia, or if you were my abuela or my mother back in the day, they just grab it and start rolling it out. I don't know how they did it. It's some sort of magical touch, but I guess it's just a practice of repetition. Here I kind of cheat my way and flour my surface, and then I lightly press out, kind of like pizza dough. I kind of cheat my way around it. And I'll grab my rolling pin and kind of finish the job. Give it small turns as I continue to roll out. Don't worry if it's not a perfect circle or a circular shape. You can reform it when it hits the pan. When it hits a hot pan, it kind of sticks to it, so you can stretch it on whatever side is not perfect. I'm going to speed this part up. Here my tortilla has hit the pan and I formed it, and I just cook it maybe about 20-25 seconds on one side so it forms a little crust and not stay raw, and then I quickly flip it. Once I flip it, you can see that the tortilla starts to souffle, and that's what you're looking for. That's a sign of success. And it looks pretty beautiful. Don't smash it down or anything. All that hot air inside is cooking the tortilla from the inside. You can then eat your tortillas with anything you'd like. Here I have some chorizo and eggs that I made, because that's about all I had in the house at the time. And I have some roasted tomatillo salsa. And there you have it. Homemade flour tortillas. Don't forget to check down below for the full recipe. Thanks for watching.